Life on a farm can be unbelievably beautiful, tranquil and peaceful. It can also be the complete opposite, and during this month, life decided to hand us not only one, but two heavy blows. The second one was so severe that we started to question if this life was for us. This is April 2024 on a Norwegian farm. For those of you that are new to our channel, my name is Eric. Me and my family bought this abandoned sheep farm a few years ago, and our goal is to bit by bit bring this farm back into the prosperous farm that it once was, and maybe make this into a part-time or even a full-time job. This story actually starts at the end of March, as we got so much done that month that we decided to save some of that footage for this video in order to keep the last video from getting too long. We were miles ahead of our schedule, and the returning spring light gave us an almost infinite source of energy. Between all the farm work, it's also important to get some time to fix and maintain the farm, so it looks presentable. And that is not only important for when we get visitors, but also for ourselves. Let's just say that this area has seen better days. Time to do some spring cleaning. Life was great. We had just started our Easter holiday, and with 1 week off work, we had so many plans. There are so many things on a farm that are season specific, and the spring is a busy time. This year we were going to be ahead. We were also going to have some time to visit family and friends. Something felt a bit off with my energy. After the work with the patio, I felt dizzy. Everything was spinning, and it turned out that we all had the flu. And it was also not any kind of flu, as we all had the coronavirus. Our entire vacation went down the drain along with all our plans. When I finally recovered, I was not ahead anymore. I was late, and the infinite amount of energy that I had was completely gone. My body felt heavy and slow, but nature waits for no one, so we had to carry on. During the last month we bought 24 fertilized eggs and put them in our incubator. Soon it was time for them to hatch. Last year we had them in a crate inside of our house, but after we had to clean down a thick layer of dust from our guest bedroom and live with the intense smell of chicken poop for months afterwards, my wife put her foot down. This year they need to stay in the chicken house. That meant building a brooder, and I did not have much time. Of course, I ran out of materials. Luckily, the hardware store is right next to the recycling center, so I will use the opportunity to ship away from a giant pile of garbage. When you buy an abandoned farm like ours, it's a good chance that we will also get a lot of trash included in the bargain. Instead of renting an expensive container, we have decided to fill up the car when we are passing the recycling center, and in the end, it will all be gone. started to rain, so I will finish this in the chicken house. The brooder is done, so it's on to the next job. Although this is not an urgent job, I will clean the rest of the patio so I can clear away the pressure washer. Now that looks a lot nicer. This morning when I came out, I was greeted by sheep on the stairs. Spring is a time when our fences are being tested. The sheep will eat down the slow growing grass on our fields, and the grass that I cannot get to is still lush and green on the other side of the fence. Time for hatching is right around the corner, and I have one more thing I need to do on the brooder. Plywood is not ideal to clean, so I will paint the floor with a thick paint to make a smooth surface. Last month, when we were replacing electrical fences with proper permanent fences, we also put up fences around the field where we make hay. The idea is that the sheep will have access to it during winter and fall, so they can fertilize it and clean the fence lines. We do however not want them in there right now, as they would eat up all the grass that is supposed to be their winter feed, so we need to close this off. It is late and I was supposed to call it a night, but I just got a text from a guy that I made a deal with. The entire point of a sheep farm is to produce lamb, and we cannot do that without a ram. Now we don't need one until the fall, but several are out on the market right now and we want to make sure that we get a good one. We found a prize ram with papers that guarantee that we will earn back our money when we sell him. He was quite expensive, but it will all be worth it, and he is coming today. During the winter we got a really heavy snow shower, and that was just too much for my tractor, so I ended up going sideways into the fence. One of the first things a new sheep wants to do is to explore the perimeter, so he will surely just jump over the mangled leftovers from our fence, so we need to fix this before he comes. He is here and the ladies want nothing to do with him. Just look at those horns. He will give us many big and beautiful lambs next spring. The next day we have even more new animals on our farm. The chickens have started to hatch. Time to prep the brooder. The next day, early in the morning, my son comes in after checking on the sheep and tells me that something terrible has happened. Our new prized ram is dead, entangled in the electric fence. We were in shock. Life on the farm, however, does not cut us any slack. We still have 50 newborn chickens in the incubator, and now it is time to move them over to the brooder. We really don't feel like doing any more farm work right now. We just want to sit down and process what had happened, but we cannot. We still have animals that need the work that we do. Starting up a farm is a bit like dragging a train by hand. It's a lot of work to make it move, but when you are gaining speed, you cannot just stop, as the train would run you over. We need more hay this winter than what we had last year, and that means prepping more fields for harvest. This chicken tractor is in the way, so we need to move it over to the other field. Putting up more electric fences is the last thing I want to do, but I have no choice. If I don't put up these fences, our sheep will graze this field and we will not have any winter feed, so up they go. We have lost animals before, but this hurts much more. I don't understand why he died. We checked on him right before we went to bed and he was fine. The next morning he was gone. I have fished sheep out of these fences several times that I spent far more time in them than he had and been completely fine. I measured the fence and it was hot, so he should not have got entangled in the first place. These fences are supposed to be safe as long as they are charged, as the sheep will pull back as soon as they make contact. He was not on his back and the fence was not around his neck, so why had he died? This was a giant slap in the face, both emotional but also economical. We will not get any money back from him now, so all was lost. Thoughts like "are we cut out for this" coursed around in my mind. With a bitter taste of failure in my mouth, I had a choice to make. Carry on or quit. We chose to carry on and to learn from this experience. The next time we were going to train the ram on the fence by spreading grains into the fence and being ready to help him out if he got stuck. We made a deal with another farmer to buy a ram lamb in the fall. He will not have the giant corkscrew horns that could get entangled in the netting. We are also working on replacing the electronet, but I don't know if we will manage to get it all before this fall. My son outgrew his bicycle, so we got him a new one. He needed some adjustment, but soon he was on his way. He grows up so fast. The soil around here has a quite low pH level, and that makes the grass grow slow and the moss thrives, so we need to spread some lime. We're using sand from shells that slowly releases its lime over time. Finally, this field is ready for summer. On to the next task. This is the hay field that we normally harvest. It may look nice and flat from above, but if we get closer, we can see that it's full of grass, hills and moss. Last year, the yield from this field was really low, so we need to do something to improve it, or we won't be getting much hay this year. Last year I bought an old drag that I've been wanting to try out. It's in a rough condition, so I will need to do some repairs to it before we try it. Since I've used the second fence charger on our temporary fence around the new hay field, I need to put up a new charger on the remainder of the electric fence around my neighbor's house. There is a bit of electricity left on the battery fence charger that we used for the pigs, so I will use that. I am however starting to think that it may be safer without electricity. I think the ram would be alive today if the fence had not been charged. Removing the last of this fence run is high up on my list, so as soon as I'm finished with the fields, I will continue that job. The drag kind of worked and it removed some moss. After talking with my neighbor, he discovered that the drag has two sides. One of the sides has longer spikes, so I turned it over. I also want to try with some more weights on it to see if it will also take the grass hills. This worked great, and I have removed a lot of moss, but there are still loads of grass hills left. The reason these cause trouble for us is that we are using a scissor type of mower. These has knives that move back and forward, cutting the grass almost like a scissor. The grass hills get stuck on the spikes in front of the knives, and that blocks the grass from being cut. I'm struggling a bit to get the last 1/3 of the field, as there are some piles in the way. I think they are full of rocks and apparently ants. I'm already a bit late in prepping this field, so I will try to remove this after the harvest. The level of dirt in the trenches we made last month is lower than the rest of the field, so we need to add some more dirt. My wife recently ordered a truckload of what was supposed to be compost soil. She did not want to use it as it was full of sand and rocks. While I fill up the tractor bucket, I'm starting to wonder if I want this on our fields. It looks more like dirty gravel than soil. We did of course complain, but they told us that it was natural sand and stone. We told them that compost soil is supposed to be from decomposed organic material and not contain sand or stones. They then told us that they bought it from big ships, so it was fine. Let's just say that we are never buying from them again. I was planning on using the remainder of the dirt or dirty gravel on our field, but it's mostly just sand, so I changed my mind. The next thing I'm planning to do is not normal farming practice, but I'm hoping that I can use this lawnmower to get rid of the leftover grass hills. After removing the moss, the field is mostly bare soil, so we need to replant with some grass seeds. This is expensive, with about 1,000 Norwegian crowns or about $100 per bag. I need to get these seeds in the ground before the birds get an expensive dinner. To be able to harvest from this field year after year without depleting the soil, we need to give something back. This is highly corrosive, so I need some protection. I would like to use an organic fertilizer, but I only had enough chicken waste for one of the fields. And as our sheep are outside all year, we don't collect any of the waste, so our option is to use the industrial type for now. All of the moss indicates that the soil has a low pH level, so we need to spread some lime as well. Now both fields are ready for the summer, so we can finally continue with the fencing project. It's another beautiful morning. Time to check on the animals. This is my wife's idea of a good morning. She loves her plants and to grow flowers and vegetables. She dreams of one day having a big greenhouse where she could plant seeds and tend her plants with a good audiobook and a cup of tea. Maybe one day we could make that dream come true. She is the boss of the plants, and this morning she needs some help with moving the blueberry bushes to a sunnier location. Time to return to fence building. Working a Norwegian farm means that you don't really need to go to the gym. We have been shopping and this pendant is a disgrace. It's been completely ravaged by all the winter storms, so it's time to replace it. We also bought some flower pots to decorate the farm a bit. These are made out of some type of clay, but they don't have a hole in the bottom, so we need to make one. We'll try to do this without breaking them. I have a drill bit for tiles, so maybe that can be used. It's probably a good idea to start with the smallest one. At this place in my script it says that we are finally done with the fence and are about to pick down the remaining electric net, but we are not. I was so sure that I would be able to finish in time, but life does not always go as planned, and I got sick again. That means that picking down the rest of the electronic fence run will not be covered by this video, as we are already at the end of this month. Several of you have asked us if we are planning on starting a Patreon page, and now we finally have. Link is in the description. If you want to help support the channel and the work we do, you can head over there. If you want to see another video, take a look at this one next, and if not, I'll be seeing you next month. Thank you all so much for watching.